now getting some more breaking news. Bengaluru is in shock after a woman alleged that she was harassed by a naked man inside a car in a posh locality in Bengaluru. She claims the man made lewd gestures, undressed himself and forcibly pulled her into the vehicle during the terrifying encounter. Despite her screams for help, she says no one on the street stepped in to help her. Speaking out about the ordeal, the survivor says this is not just her story but a reflection of a larger problem in Bengaluru, which includes bystander apathy and growing concerns over women's safety in the city. The incident has raised some very serious questions about street safety, public response and policing in India's tech capital. So absolutely horrifying case coming to the fore from Bengaluru, which is in shock after a woman has alleged that she was harassed by a naked man inside a car in a posh locality of the city. And she claims that the man made lewd gestures. He undressed himself inside the car and then forcibly pulled the woman into the vehicle during the terrifying encounter.
भैया उसको पकड़ो पकड़ो पूंगा था वो फिर वो गाड़ी के अंदर मुझे बुला रहा था इसलिए मैं आपको हेल्प हेल्प बोल रही हूँ कोई भी नहीं सुन रहा है भाई कैसे हो तुम आप लोग भैया मैं आपको हेल्प के लिए बुला रही थी आप क्यों ऐसे चल के आ रहे थे और अभी हंस के आ रहे थे देखो I was full scared my god
क्या होने वाला होगा मेरे साथ या फिर आज क्या होगा मेरे साथ हर बार डर रहता है जाने के टाइम पे आने के टाइम पे
फिर वो गाड़ी के अंदर मुझे बुला रहा था इसलिए मैं आपको हेल्प हेल्प बोल रही हूँ कोई भी नहीं सुन रहा है भाई कैसे हो तुम आप लोग भैया मैं आपको हेल्प के लिए बुला रही थी आप क्यों ऐसे चल के आ रहे थे और अभी हंस के आ रहे थे देखो I was full scared my god
क्या होने वाला होगा मेरे साथ या फिर आज क्या होगा मेरे साथ हर बार डर रहता है जाने के टाइम पे आने के टाइम पे.
So you just heard the survivor speaking about the ordeal. She says that she is living in constant fear. She also narrates what exactly unfolded, how the man forcibly was telling her to get inside the car and she was screaming for help, yet nobody came forward to help her out. And we're being joined by Brinda Adige, who's a women's rights activist. Ms. Adige, how do you see this incident? Yet another incident of harassment being reported from Bengaluru. There has been a clear rise in such cases, and the survivor clearly says that nobody even came to help her despite her screaming.
At the outset, I'm ashamed that in Bengaluru, we have ceased to take up our civic responsibility. She's screaming, asking for help, asking for someone to intervene, and they've just been bystanders, mute spectators, unwilling to help, assist, or support this woman from that perpetrator. On the other side is this increasing lack of fear of law. The perpetrator, the sexual molester, seems to be so arrogant that he thinks that nothing is going to happen to him. Nobody is going to register a case. He is not going to get caught. He is not going to be pulled up before a judge. And that is very scary and dangerous. So together we want to now ask this question, what is my state doing? What happened to the police patrolling? Police are supposed to be patrolling the streets. And if they're going to be sitting only in their cars and not be there on foot patrolling, beat police on foot, then this lack of fear of law is only going to increase. But that said, the other question is, what are the police doing vis-a-vis monitoring all the cameras bought with the Nirbhaya funds? Hundreds of thousands of cameras across Bangalore city. We don't know how many of them work and we don't know who's monitoring them. And if you are monitoring them, then how long does it take for somebody to pass on this message in this age and time of sophisticated technology to say, rush to this spot where some woman is in crisis. Rush to this spot where somebody is blatantly, brazenly, undressing himself and forcing someone to come into the car. These are questions that need not be asked because you're being charitable towards women or concerned about women's safety. These are questions that has to be asked because you're paid to ensure safety of citizens in the city.
So you're saying that there are clear major systemic gaps that are allowing such incidents to repeat in Bengaluru.
Absolutely. These systemic gaps, I mean, this is not someone who's just come up overnight. I'm sure this guy has been watching, waiting, looking around, and he has seen that probably this spot is something that there is no patrolling happening. Maybe there are no cameras. Forget about the bystanders. Of course, I am ashamed that as a citizen of this great city, we have people who are mute spectators, who believe or think that they are not required to support and intervene somebody in distress and needing some help and support. Because she's a woman, probably they don't even want to help. Maybe all of the bystanders are men. I don't know. We also have to question, would the police take them in as witnesses if they intervene? Will the courts pull them up to be witnesses? Because that is not only cumbersome and time consuming, but that is harassment and traumatic to the witnesses themselves. So there are a lot of questions around this. But the first one is, what are the police doing? Where is your patrolling? Where is that confidence that every woman can get saying, I'm safe on the street? And we are not talking of late in the evening. We are not talking of a place which is dark without street lights. We are talking
Absolutely.
of daylight. If daylight something like this is happening, then what can you expect in the night when there is no light, when patrolling is
Absolutely.
reduced?
Absolutely, Ms. Brinda Adige. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Some very serious questions need to be answered by the cops. Why is there not enough patrolling? And what's even more important to note, that this incident has taken place in broad daylight. It has not even taken place at night. It has taken place in broad daylight, which also raises some serious questions as to as far as the women's safety is concerned in Bengaluru. There has been a clear rise in such cases being reported of sexual harassment and public harassment from Bengaluru.